All pumped up for another big week on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Season 5. It's the Leaf Hour edition of our program. We are live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Always available when you can't catch us live, so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jen Rolnick, Derek Brandeo, and debut out of our new assistant producer, Ethan Zsa Gabor.
What does that mean? What is Zsa Gabor?
You're not familiar with Zsa Gabor? That
no.
is a old singer,
I don't
actress.
Yeah.
She's the only Gabor I'm aware of.
No, there's sisters, I think.
Oh.
I think there were sisters, and I'm not sure which one had a sitcom named Green Acres.
How would you spell that?
ZSA. I think separate.
Okay, I'm Googling this.
Yeah, Google it, please.
I'm the dinosaur.
American, Hungarian American socialite and actress.
Yes.
The original Instagram influencer.
To steal a line from Rodney Dangerfield, she was really something before electricity.
We really derailed the intro to Ethan here. Welcome, Ethan, who's helping the program for at least a month here.
Yeah,
Hopefully longer.
No, we're gonna
just hang on to him. He's
longer. In the meantime, in our Toronto Maple Leaf edition, what we thought was closing in on another 2 points. Left Toronto Maple Leaf fans disappointed in terms of the lost point, I guess. But outside of that, celebrating Auston Matthews becoming the all-time goal-scoring champion of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how everybody felt after the game in terms of where the Leafs are. We talk about the points that have been accumulated over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, which has been good.
Yeah,
The points
in
are
6 straight.
6 straight. The points have been good, but
They
I
need
don't know.
wins.
Last time I looked, they were still tied for the basement in the Eastern Conference, which is, I think, a little frustrating for Leaf fans.
Yeah, they need wins. It certainly was frustrating. What are they up 3-2 with 4 minutes to go in that one?
Yeah, on Saturday?
Yeah, on
I
Saturday.
think it was less than that. Was it? Maybe that's what it was. I can't remember the exact score, but I remember being pissed off. Yeah, no, because Matthews scored 2 and Robertson had 1, so they blew a lead again in the third period.
Yeah.
Something that they never did last year and something that they're addicted to doing this year. I don't know what it is. Very shell-like third periods where they just feel like they're flipping the puck out and they stop playing hockey, but it was really bad, I thought, on Saturday night.
Scored the first goal 19 times this year and won just 10 of those games. I think they're
Wow.
10, 6, and 3, and they've had the lead going into the third period. I want to say 16 times, and they're like 10, 3, and 3, which is tied for the worst points percentage for a team leading going into the third.
Yeah, it's again that
Haven't
was
hung on very well. Missing Carlo, Tanev, and Rielly playing like this doesn't help.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's personnel.
Yeah.
And I mean, say what you will about Mitch Marner and his contributions, great defensive player, and not having him, that hurts them that in the third period too.
Before we get into the specifics of what we saw against the New York Islanders, you guys want to talk about Auston Matthews and the continuous look of a guy that we were all familiar with when he's scoring 60 and 69 goals.
Yeah, first off, just a shout out to the accomplishment. Leading the Leafs all time in goals. He did it in 6 fewer games. Got to this number than Alex Ovechkin. Like he is, it's an incredible clip to give credit for what he's done over this time. And we know that it's had these dips, and we know that the postseason success hasn't been there. But all told, insane goal scorer. It's just been crazy to watch.
Yeah, 421 goals in 664 career games is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's a ridiculous pace. It really is. So, yeah, I wish they had a 1. It kind of gave me a throat. Was it Tavares got his 1,000th point? Remember when they tied it late in Long Island? Or
That was
on Long Island?
goal.
No, it was when he got his 1,000th point. It was on Long Island, and he got a tie, like a point on the tying goal, and the benches came off. They all cleared. And then they went out and they lost in overtime. It just gave me a very similar vibe, especially with Matthews hitting the post in OT. But I sat there watching that, and it just blew me away how fast this happened. that you're like, oh, he could one day be the all-time leading scorer of this franchise, and then
you're here.
You snap your fingers. And it's like, oh, he is the all-time leading goal scorer. We 500 goals and
we talked last week about how there was no buildup towards this, right? It was just a feeling of bigger fish to fry in terms of where the team's at, or the focus was on really the team and less of an individual accomplishment. Mm-hmm. But to Sam's point, is the attention around it been tarnished because of the lack of success on the team? And does it speak towards where Leaf fans are, or even the media per se, on if this team is in first place, if they're comfortably headed towards another belief that they're going to take a run at winning a Stanley Cup, this Auston Matthews story would be so much bigger.
Maybe. I feel like the other part of that, Kip, is there's two factors. One is the inevitability of this. We've known for years, ever since he's had a contract, long enough to get here, that he was going to get here. Everyone kind of thought that he was going to be the guy to hold this record. So I don't think it's this like, holy crap, like no one ever thought Gretzky's record was going to be broken till like 2 years ago. Yeah. It was like, oh.
Everyone's like, when DA said it, everyone's like, oh, you idiot.
8 years ago. And I was one of the people being like,
me too.
Lost.
Me
so
too.
That felt inevitable, or that felt like it would never happen. This felt inevitable, which I think hurts. But also, he was never, this season anyway, stampeding toward the record. Like, oh, he just keeps scoring. It's going to happen sooner than we think. He struggled for a while. Mm-hmm. So for him to catch
longer
on,
than a while.
Yeah.
This was
a year and a half.
We got to the point where like we were like questioning whether we'll ever see anything remotely like we just did a few seasons ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to the broadcast Saturday night, and our guys do a terrific job as always. And both CC and Simmer were like, yeah, Auston has a lot more energy now. I think one of them used energy, and I think if it was Chris Cuthbert who said, yeah, he's got more oomph. Mm-hmm. I think he used the term oomph.
Well, his coach used that word prior a couple days ago. Or a week.
We can look at a lot of guys and say a lot of things about they're not scoring or why they're not scoring or they're snake bitten. Very seldom have we looked over Connor McDavid, when he has struggled as rarely as it happened, or Ovechkin over the years, and say, yeah, I'm not seeing any oomph. Yeah. There's a lot of things, but not to the degree of where we question where the hell has his game gone for such a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that really put a damper on his now title of being the greatest goal scorer. Is like, do we all believe like he's back? Do we believe that this is...
I hate the idea of, for some reason, there's a damper on this incredible record of his because you haven't liked his oomph or whatever for the last little bit.
Yeah.
Well, how does that affect what he's done as a Toronto Maple Leaf?
It hasn't, but I think we're at the point where, especially for Leaf fans, that the biggest disappointment is that they had this window of 8 or 10 years with all these high draft picks, and it didn't lead to where we thought it was going to go, and it's trending downward, and it's affecting how we look at this particular accomplishment. And some people can separate it and it is what it is, and it's a wonderful individual accomplishment, but it just didn't lead the Leafs to where you were hoping it would.
Yeah, I guess I do see these as separate things.
Yeah.
There is this sense of the greater trajectory of the team and people feeling like, God, it just didn't happen. Like we thought if, after year 10 of Matthews by now that it would have happened. But I think to say that because, Marner and Matthews and Nylander didn't produce against Florida 3 years ago, that somehow Matthews is the greatest Leaf goal scorer of all time is somehow in any way affected. This is, I don't know, maybe you need to be separated by some years to appreciate what he's done here, if that's how you feel about it. But this is, to me, something that Maple Leafs fans should be proud of and have enjoyed, and it's given them a lot of joy and great memories.
I don't disagree on that. It's just, it's not as celebrated as I think it should be. And
Well, you're not celebrating it, so then isn't that the opposite of what you're saying? Like, you think it should be celebrated, but
no, I do think if the team and the team success was in a better place, we'd be looking at this in a much bigger way.
Yeah,
That's all. And I'm not saying, like, I look back on Rick Vive. Okay, Rick Vive was, in a short window, like the greatest goal scorer in Leaf history, and to this day they can't even hang his number up. And he was the first guy to score 50 goals and then score 50 goals again. And did he do it 3 times?
I don't know.
You know better than me.
I can't.
It's before my time. I know he scored 50.
Okay.
I can look it up there.
I'm not saying that this is Rick Vive.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is what really hurt Rick was the lack of success around the team in that era.
Right.
And
But you're talking about greater career legacy here and how people will remember these players rather than what was just accomplished.
yeah, I do feel like if it doesn't work out for Auston, and Marner's gone now, so Marner is forever going to be, in my opinion, maybe looked upon as a great talent or individual accomplishments, but a failure for not being able to win when it mattered most as a Toronto Maple Leafs.
Right.
And I think Tavares is hooked into that. Nylander's hooked into that.
For sure.
And for sure, Austin's looked into that.
Yeah, I have
Now, if you can separate the two,
no argument.
if you can separate
their
the two
legacies
and
will
say,
be affected by not winning the
wonderful
cup.
talent,
Yes.
and then it's like, is he the greatest Leaf ever to play? And it's like, okay, what's your interpretation of great?
Right.
I mean,
Right?
they haven't had a ton since there was, they were pushing the Stanley Cup out on like a table in black and white. They haven't had a lot of players be really that great, quite frankly. Been awesome players throughout their franchise, clearly, but no one's really brought them to anything. So it's hard to be like, well, Matthews, I mean, it kind of just falls in line with the lineage of players since 1967 that have been good, but I don't think this good. So maybe the greatest pre-60s play. Like, I understand what you're saying, Kyper.
Yeah.
That, like, I'd be lying if I said to you that I fully am fired up that he's the like, yes, I love him. He's given me so much success and so much joy. I'd be lying to you if I said I fully believe that. But at the same time, I'm trying not to take for granted what has been one of the more remarkable 10-year regular season runs where the Leafs have been one of the better teams in the league, given a whole fan base hope, gone into playoffs with hope, obviously hasn't got there, clearly. But now I'm looking at it where I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, those years were pretty good. Now I'm looking at a team that's got 45 points and is behind the Sabres and may miss the playoffs. Like, I'm having this feeling where I'm like, I kind of took those years for granted a little bit.
Well, you're having these two totally separate conversations about what's Auston Matthews' legacy as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Yeah.
And then the idea of, if you can't appreciate, which I will say you haven't appreciated, Auston Matthews' greatness as a goal scorer while he's here, then what are you watching sports for? Like, to me, this guy has scored at a better pace.
Championships.
The greater, sure.
Watching teams come together.
Yes.
And winning championships.
So the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game, Alex Ovechkin, this guy in Toronto, as we cover it every day, has scored at a pace as good, marginally better, but as good as the greatest goal scorer of all time. And to not come in here 1 or 2 days over those years and go, holy S-word.
Listen,
you see his last 2 games?
Absolutely.
I mean, who on the planet, aside from one other guy I'm aware of, can do some of these things? So I guess for me, that's
I only see team.
Yeah.
I only see coming together, winning. I don't see.
I would
I
prefer
don't
to
see
watch
it as
that.
much. I don't see as much as you do on appreciation of individual stuff.
Totally.
Okay, and I'm just built that way. I can't appreciate one. I can appreciate 20.
Yeah. And I have no interest. If you give me the choice of pursuing the 2 things or watching the 2 things, give me 20 Steven Lorenz's who win a Stanley Cup over watching Matthews any day. But I do think that, there are fans listening to our program. This is the Toronto Maple Leaf show of record on Sportsnet, the national rights holder, who have loved watching him score 421 times over, was it not even 10 seasons? It's incredible. And it's been really fun to watch this weekend, or hat trick on Thursday, 2 big goals on the weekend. Really cool.
Yeah.
If you don't have that guy, it's not as fun to be where they are in the basement. So giving people a brightness.
I mean, it was really bad before he looked like this, and now that he looks like this, I'm like, well, at least there's something to watch.
That's kind
All
of
right, let's get Craig Ruby's thoughts on his captain. Clip 4 on Auston Matthews.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, and congrats to him. Leading Leafs in goals all time, and actually first in hat tricks for a U.S.-born player too. So he's accomplished a lot of things, and he had a strong game again tonight, and just about had it in OT.
What did you like most about his game? I don't know if
It's
it's
just the skating and the aggressiveness of his game, and just using his size and strength to kind of bully his way around the ice and win the battles and win the puck battles. And I don't know what his shot totals are the last 5 games, but they're up there.
So that he explained everything that we have not seen for a long time.
Yes.
So what do we
I want to know
attest that
what
to?
you attribute it to.
I'll tell you in a nutshell.
Okay.
He's just working harder. He's just trying harder. I thought at times, I don't know. Maybe he got lazy. Maybe he was out of shape. Maybe he just, didn't feel a sense of urgency or responsibility.
That'd be great news for the Leafs.
Right?
That would be incredible.
He's not hurt. Clearly, he's not hurt.
That would be amazing.
And we've hung ourselves on that hat for a very long time. But you want to ask me what the difference is? He just looks like he's trying harder. And that's coming from a coach that has said that to him every day.
That is
guys,
amazing and depressing.
I think Savvy got fired, and it was a wake-up call for everybody. And they've played some crappier teams, and I just think that they were like, oh, crap, wasn't the head coach, but a coach on our bench that we're around every single day lost his job, and they're like, oh, my God, some accountability happened, and it's been –
I hope that's the case, too,
ever
right?
since that point, he's been Auston Matthews.
What do you
Is it
attribute
not?
to?
I tend to think what Sam mentioned leads to what you mentioned, which is I can't speak to the relationship with the assistant coach and Savard, and I'm not saying that's why, but maybe it is the wake-up call factor of it. Maybe some of these injuries have kind of eased up a little bit on him at the same time, and he's just feeling better. I honestly don't know, Kip, and that's been one of the frustrating parts of watching him is watching him when he was
for
bad.
You and a lot of other people.
But when he was bad bad. I couldn't figure it out. We sat here and went, I don't know, is he not sleeping bad? Is he staying up too late? Is he eating poorly? Is he nagging injury? Is he mad at the spitballing? So he's just back. He looks back. Which would be crazy for the Leafs because it would be just good enough to drag them to what? 9th in the conference or something. And it doesn't. They're in tough to make playoffs, and we're going to get there, but they're in tough here.
I keep looking at the standings, hoping it's going to be better every day, and it's just really not better every day. I think the Habs in the 3rd place in the Atlantic are now up to 53 points. Leafs are at 45. It's like they got to get smoking hot. They're the hardest part of their schedule.
If there's 12 teams playing in the Eastern Conference, 8 are getting points.
Yeah.
Every night.
Right? 3-point games.
Yeah.
Must drive teams nuts watching 3-point games.
The thing is, standings wise, they are right there, right? They're 3 points out of a playoff spot as of today.
Behind Washington, right?
Behind Washington.
Pittsburgh.
Ottawa's also got 45, Devils at 46, Bruins at 46, Sabres at 46, Florida at 47. So, you're right in the mix, but you have to your point, because of 3-point games, you have to get hot. And we talked about this schedule, which is Colorado, Vegas, Vegas, Minnesota.
Every good team in the league for 7 games in a row, basically.
Yeah.
Detroit's mixed in there.
You got 3 coming up. Well, you got Florida, and then you got Philly and the
Vancouver
Canucks.
Yeah.
Okay, tons to get into from Saturday night.
Congrats to Matthews.
Congrats to Auston Matthews.
Awesome accomplishment.
Craig Ruby on his overall view of what he witnessed Saturday night in a disappointing loss.
Yeah, good period. I thought, the game going into the third period, I didn't think we pushed enough in the third. I thought we just didn't have the puck enough and sat back a little too much. And, we ended up getting a point out of the game. But, for me, I think, we could have had two.
There you go.
They blew it, and they blew it against Detroit, too. Same way, third period, just like went into a shell. Stop trying to score.
How do you come out of the dressing room after the second period?
They were
and
awesome.
I can only imagine.
The second period.
I can only imagine like the things that were reiterated either from the coaches or the players themselves to each other. Yeah. And then start the first 7 minutes saying, our breakout's going to be a flip pass into the neutral zone, and then we're going to line up across the blue line and dare them to come in.
We're just going to flip it and say, Red Rover, take another run at our defense. Right. And eventually they'll break through or maybe not.
And we're going to let that kid, Matthew Schaefer, kind of lead the charge.
Run buck wild out there.
Unbelievable player.
He is,
he's going to the Olympics.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, they have to find a way to get him on the roster.
Well, Kyper, they literally had a way last week by saying, Matthew Schaefer, you're on the Olympic team.
I know. But I don't know if they paid attention to Saturday night or they just refused to really focus in. There is, outside of Cale Makar, there is no one on that Canadian Olympic roster that can do the things that he can do right now.
You know who he reminds me of is Duncan Keith. When Duncan Keith was younger, he could skate, get up the rink, and if he could get back fine. He would just get back in the play and play defense.
But he didn't have the legs or the reach or the edge work,
offensive
length.
upside.
He didn't have the length. Like his goal, kind of just like Auston. Auston's 28 years old and seasoned for 10 years. He scored the exact same goal.
I know,
right? To me, he looks like Connor McDavid coming through the neutral zone.
Do you think anyone has a career highlight reel of getting dunked on more than Morgan Rielly? Like you could put together, McDavid's big juke on him. Like
I told you guys last week. I don't know when it comes to like shoveling pucks out of your own net, but he's doing it all the time.
Before we talk about Morgan Rielly, I just wanted to read this stat about Schaefer. Became the first NHL defenseman in history to record 2 multi-goal games as an 18-year-old. Only 4 others had one. Bogosian had one, Phil Housley, Bobby Orr, and King Clancy. So the first defenseman in the history of the league to have 2 multi-goal games as an 18-year-old.
It's the skating.
He's unbelievable.
For me.
Oh, he just jumps on the edge.
So what would Doug Armstrong have not seen? Young?
No, yeah, I think he was just nervous about bringing a kid in that young.
Yeah, that's early in the season, they protected him pretty heavy. He didn't play the top guys, and he, had some defensive whoopsies and stuff like that. But he's playing with Adam Pelech now, and he looks rock solid. He's playing top competition every night.
He's just fearless too, eh?
Well, to a weird degree, like interviews, the first star interviews to the whole arena, like he is just unfazed.
Was Doughty a rookie at the Olympics or was his second year?
I don't think so.
I think it was his second year in 2010 that he made that team and was on the ice when Sidney Crosby scored the golden goal. But anyways, Morgan Rielly.
Morgan Rielly. I think
Schaefer has the career game on Hockey Night in Canada, and Morgan ends up -4.
Yeah.
-4 in a 4-3 game, and I think he's at 5-on-5 has been on for the most goals in the NHL now.
A stat from Kevin Papetti on Twitter. Where did I put it in here? Or maybe I didn't put it in here. Oh, yeah. Heading into Saturday's action, there were 422 players with 400-plus minutes at 5-on-5 this season. Morgan Rielly had been on for more goals against per minute than anyone else.
Glad to have that confirmation.
It's not good.
Yeah. So it's a trouble spot where when you don't have Tanev Carlo, he's got to do more, and he's not able to do more. Or you just don't even.
It's been going on too long here with those guys in or out of the lineup.
We've talked about Berube a ton on this show and some of the coaching decisions he's made, but I guess it's McCabe goes out is why he goes up to 27 minutes.
Yeah.
27
So,
But I
minutes.
mean, but what
McCabe,
what have you
McCabe
watched?
got hurt. Nobody meant it.
didn't
It was just nobody knew. Nobody meant he missed. I think the last 10 minutes of the third period.
Right.
Yeah,
And I don't know. Did you watch him limp off?
he's hurt.
I watched it back again, and it's like
He couldn't
he
stand up.
barely could come off the ice.
Is that right?
And
Out a week apparently.
which might mean
We'll see.
I don't know 2.
We'll see.
I will
Right.
say, hey, full credit to them. Injury disclosure way better in the past 2 weeks.
Buddy, they couldn't take our show any longer. That's what happened. We guilted them.
Okay.
But really, like, Anna Dua had a tweet today, and she shared all the news on all the injuries, and it's like pretty thorough about.
We can play the clip after we finish
Okay.
talking about Morgan Rielly, but before his scrum started today, he went through like a detailed breakdown of all the injuries and like set it out before anyone even asked any questions. So maybe they're listening. But what are they going to do about Morgan Rielly?
Yeah.
Because this has reached a fever pitch.
So
of,
here's my kind of thinking about it is right now he can't defend well. He's often some bad reads. The read in overtime to me is egregious. Like your player has their player. There's not many guys.
He doesn't
on the
really
ice.
have him. It was a bad change, and then Nyes is chasing.
I just fully disagree. Like
Right.
Nyes has got him.
Yeah, listen, he doesn't have him on body position, but he's right
He's getting
beside
there.
him. He's getting
at the
there.
very least, like
Yes.
that's his assignment.
I'm
at that
not.
point.
I'm not justifying Morgan bailing out
Yeah.
the front of the net, but yeah, it's just not pretty to watch.
So the D thing is like it's not. You don't want to put him in those spots. He doesn't have a big shot. We've said that for a long time. That's been a problem, that he doesn't shoot it heavy. For me, the passing hangs on to it a bit too long, and doesn't always see the right thing. It's like, God, getting tough to find the spots where you use them. I'm now thinking, like, if the Leafs were to be buyers, let's say they won 5 games in a row here, and they decided they wanted to be buyers. Is the thing they need most an offensive D-man? Like someone so they don't have to put Morgan on the power play and ozone, whatever, and you can shelter him a little bit. Like, I feel like you have to look out for this guy now. I don't know when you put him out.
what's the situation where like to me, he's playing like he should be playing like 12 or 13 minutes a night, like a bottom pair guy, which is hard to do.
He's 1 and 4 in overtime now. 1 goal for, 4 against.
When you're the highest paid defense on the team, that's hard to justify. But like playing 27 minutes the other night is just.
What is he? Is he Brody now? Like,
What do you mean?
What is he?
Like the
TJ Brody
fall-off?
before Brody left the Leafs. Is he turned himself into that?
I got to say, it's really hard to look back at the best shape of his career conversations from September.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he was overweight now?
I don't know. It's just reached a fever pitch with the fan base, and he is squarely in the crosshairs of the fan base, number one whipping boy by far right now. No one else. It's the number one thing. I mean, we play into it, but after the game, we're supposed to talk about the game, and you're like, how can you avoid this
Sometimes
conversation?
It just goes on you.
What do you think his value is? If you can get him to agree.
You'd have to find someone who's really unhappy with their $8 million player, and I'll trade you my headache for your headache.
Yeah. You don't think anyone just say, hey, here's.
It's really
First up
hard.
prospect.
It's really hard to have watched him, I think, this year and go,
He's going to get
Listen,
50 points
there's-
as a demon.
There's 31 teams out there. Can someone look at him and go, yeah, they were talking the same way about Seth Jones in Chicago this way.
Right. Yeah, Kip,
Right?
that's a good point.
And
I mean,
it's okay. He just needs to
he's on
get
pace
out
for
of here,
53 points.
and he just needs a fresh change. And if I was Morgan, I'd be looking at that. I'd be approaching either my agent or the Leafs and saying, if you can find me a spot here that I'm happy with, I'd be willing to lift my no move.
It's tough, right? Like just married in the last few years, kid in the last few years, no move clause in a contract. Like he's roots down here.
Yeah, but
I know.
those type of things that you just described can also alter your play, where it's either you lose an edge, you lose some hunger, you lose some. It does happen, right? And
It's good to live a full, complete life.
The best
but
example,
hockey team
the
needs-
best example I can give you from covering this league for a very long time is Wade Redden.
Yeah. Okay.
Ottawa,
Yeah.
best defenseman.
Stud.
No, we're choosing Wade over Chara.
Insane that
Okay.
happened.
And then goes to free agency. The Rangers pick him up. Number 1 UFA signing, big contract. Like,
They bought
and
him
then
out
it
eventually, didn't
just, he's like, got to send him to the minors. They sent Wade Redden to the minors. And then he never got it back.
Played 70 games for the Hartford Wolfpack in 2010, 2011.
I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just using it as an example
You
of
hope he's Seth
sometimes
Jones in this
how
example.
sometimes guys can just peter out a little early.
Yeah. How old was Wade? Like Morgan's 32, 31? What is he?
Sammy,
He's
do the math.
31. He's 31.
Oh, my God.
Do the math on Wade Redden.
Oh, my God.
What?
I'm just trying to think of me doing the math. Let me think about it.
Do you want to listen to Berube on Morgan's
Yes,
game?
absolutely.
We got clip 3 here on Morgan's game, please.
Yeah, I think, tonight was a tough one, like I know that, but he's played some really good hockey for us this year. I'm not worried about it. I think he'll get back to where the level he was at. I do believe that. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
By the way, it's very easy math. Wade Redden was born in
1977,
and he signed with the New York Rangers in 2008. So he's the exact same age as Morgan Rielly.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, it could be a little off with the birthdays or whatever, but yeah.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
But
I also think that Morgan has been thrust into the worst case scenario, which is everyone treats you like the number 1, even though you're not number 1 at this point, right? He's not. He's only makes 7.5. Lots of D make lots more than that. There's lots. He's not a true number 1, and you're in the biggest market.
he's getting fnuffed right now.
He's
getting fnuffed.
I would, if I were another GM, 7.5 for Rielly for a few years. Like, yeah, I'll do that. I just don't want it to. Well, not if he's your number 1 dude. Like, if you put him behind a couple guys.
But what D-man is going to, or what general manager is going to be like, I'm going to spend $7.5 million on my 5th defenseman, and it may not work out.
5th. I just think the way the cap is going up, if he's your
Leafs
lead
would
a
have to
solid
eat.
second pair.
Like,
They got to eat.
how is it not at the point where they either have to eat half or a quarter of it or attach an asset? Like, how is this a tradable contract?
I would take it. I don't think Morgan's this bad. I think he's asked to do way too much. I think he played 27 minutes last night.
Yeah, it's too much.
He's not, prime Erik Karlsson.
Yeah. That's the hope.
We didn't
Is
even
that-
get into the goalie or anything else
No,
yet.
we got a break.
Okay.
We got a break, catch
Yeah.
our breath.
Ethan got in my ear and said, you guys got a break. So.
Yeah. Did you? Did he?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, I hope he did. I say that would be awesome. But
That would be awesome. Maybe he's like Matthew Schaefer, just coming out of nowhere and
Oh,
turning himself
gosh.
into a star right
Who am I,
away.
Scott Mayfield?
He's ready, number 1.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we return, more on the Toronto
Same
Maple Leafs
build.
in our Leaf Hour edition of our program after these words.
We just looked it up, and Erik Karlsson had a season where he had 101 points and was dash 26.
Yeah, the reason I brought that up is because, is my mic on? Am I working? Yeah?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
Okay.
Do words.
I think it was working when you cussed too, when you came out of commercial
I
break.
heard that.
It did? No, my mic wasn't on. Somebody texted in and said trade Carlson for Morgan Rielly. And then so it got me looking at Erik Karlsson's hockey DB. A lot of points.
It
for
was
Karlsson.
Kyle Dubas who signed Morgan to that contract, wasn't it?
Maybe he wants him.
And
Maybe he wants him.
and at the time, I think we all said, wow, he took a haircut. Because
Yeah.
that was right around the
Oh, yeah. The thought was he could have
right? Because it was
turned it
totally
into
team
$8 million as a free agent.
and wasn't it
Could have.
and wasn't it right around the time that Nurse signed and like those guys signed?
5 and
right?
all that for
And
those
everybody
guys, yeah.
thought 7.5's way better than 9.
And when Werenski signed around that time too, I think. So people were, anyways.
How dare you?
But no,
put
at
those
that
two in
at the
same
time,
sentence. I know,
at the
I
time,
know.
at the time, Justin,
At the time.
Everything's great.
Oh, boy.
Joseph Wall on Saturday.
So when we spoke on Friday, I really thought Hildeby was the starter Saturday night.
You thought he should be or
Yes,
would be? Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
No, would. You just don't know with this team.
Yeah.
But should, absolutely, coming off of that. And I get Wall's numbers have been pretty good, right?
Yeah.
The wins and I guess the save percentage, it's all been solid. But, man, he was just so good, Hildeby. And I wouldn't have mind even acknowledging that Hildeby's right there right now. He's right there. He's there with Joseph Wall in terms of who could start. How good do I feel about each one of these guys playing now? And, yeah, I haven't liked a few goals on Joseph Wall going through him, especially the tying goal.
The Heineman one.
Heineman won east to west.
I'm trading
Needed
like that.
There are like 10 goalies that, like, Shesterkin would have looked like he was in a rocking chair on that.
Yeah.
It cannot go through you.
Mm-hmm.
Not a chance.
Unscreened from
You-
distance. I don't care if you're moving laterally or not.
If you're world class, Ovechkin, even Austin on a one timer, they beat you high corner. You give them 3 inches, 4 inches to hit a spot, and they do it far side, up above your shoulder. I get it.
Tip the cap.
Through you,
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Yeah, that wasn't great, guys. And, you know, the Pellick one where he looks on the wrong side of the pile. Looking forward to talking to Valley about some of these and his thoughts on it. But, you know, he had a shutout the game before.
No,
Yeah.
he got
Oh,
lit
sorry.
up like a Christmas tree. And then the game before that,
The game before that was a
Yeah.
shutout.
Yeah.
So
the Jets, he got lit up.
Yeah, Jets were no good.
I think there's the chance so you go shutout, you have a tough outing, and then they say, you're still the guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, Saturday night, you go with the guy. I get the idea of it, but yeah, you know, you probably get 2 points if Hildeby's in net there, which is interesting to say.
And the thing that I think I hated the most about it was the overtime where he's got Domi and McMahon and I think Rielly out at that time, or maybe it wasn't Rielly, the other, and the defenseman. They're dog tired. They've been chasing in the defensive zone for I don't know how long.
Yeah,
It'd been a long time. Catches it and perfect opportunity,
I
freeze.
think he's thinking we don't want to get a draw in our zone if we
Sure.
can just have possession of it.
The tendency for the goalies is to keep the play going,
But-
and it
But you got to have it.
you
at
can
that
turn
point.
you can turn a save into a 2-on-1 the other way in a split second and 3-on-3.
possession is so now it's a real 3-on-3 thing where it's like, okay, we
And
got it, we can get our
Max
change and have the
had
puck.
the puck,
Yeah.
and
Sure.
there wasn't within 6 feet of somebody.
Dog
and then
tired blows a shoe.
just
Could have curled back.
right. But
Fell over.
Let him
if
change.
it's a little cleaner,
Yeah.
it's the right play for Joseph Wall not to freeze it.
And
If he picks it up clean,
all I know is in the moment I yelled freeze
Totally,
dog.
totally. Everyone
Yeah.
did. I was with you on that.
And then you get one
I
of
think
the best centermen in the league winning draws. John Tavares out there coming off, on for a fresh shift
Mm-hmm.
with Matthews to end that overtime. Just for me, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
And it cost him. Fast game. I think the coach talked about it. So
all right. Let's go to Craig Berube on Joseph Wall in overtime.
Well, I would have liked him to freeze it there. The guys were tired, and I think it would have been better off freezing it. But it's a fast game, and things happen fast, and
there you go.
Okay.
Fast game.
I don't even know where Schaefer went. Did he go glove side? Did it go underneath his glove?
under his glove, yeah.
Low glove. The new hotness. That's where all the kids.
And
shoot.
I
Low glove.
didn't I don't know if you saw his body position to try to stop it. It reminded me of me playing road hockey on Mosedale.
Trying to do the
with
big glove
kicks.
windmill.
No, just that one knee down and the kick save kind of thing.
Yeah.
He just looked awkward. He
Twisted
just
up a bit.
looked twisted up. He just didn't look comfortable.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty how that one ended. So,
But there's no way they're going to start Hildeby against the.
well, it certainly makes it a tough choice now.
I think it's a tough choice. I think it would be
You
a
just started him. I mean,
gutsy call to put Hildeby in. And I think it would
an
send a good
insulting one,
Sorry?
an insulting one to your starting goalie.
No, there's no starting goalie here on end. I'm sorry, but we're in the basement
Yeah.
and you're in a dogfight for the net.
Yeah.
And that 6'7" guy, he's chomping right now.
Yeah,
And I would send a message to Joseph Wall
play well and play.
that this is not your net. This is up for grabs.
Has he had more success when that's been the case or when he's been the guy here? I feel like I don't remember. Stolar's typically better when pushed. I don't remember.
I'm past that. There's no time to figure it out anymore,
Right.
JB.
When you're in.
Right?
No,
So, I don't know. I don't think it's an easy decision.
I like your idea, but I would be hard-pressed to say that he's going to do that.
I think it's going to be Hildeby.
No.
Yeah.
Want to bet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What are you
Farmer's
gonna-
bet.
Yeah,
Nothing.
okay, there it is. All right. Berube, clip 6. Do you want to get into all the other stuff?
Injury updates.
Fellas, we got 10 minutes in our Leafs hour. Let's talk about the injuries here. Craig Berube, please. Clip 6.
McCabe is probably a week. It could be sooner, but I would guess a week. Tanev, possible surgery.
Is the surgery related?
No,
His
different.
first one, right?
No. Totally different. Okay. This last injury is totally different. So that's the surgery part. So he is going to get looked at this week on that. Stolar's is skating. He's getting better and he's doing better. Willie, day to day. Skated a bit today on his own. He's getting better, but he's still not able to play. Carlo practiced with us today. We'll see if he's available tomorrow. Who else am I missing?
Mermis came back.
Mermis, he's skating, but he's still a ways away.
There you go.
Okay, now we can move on because we know what's up with the guys. This is delightful.
So, what did they say about Carlo? That he had an infection?
He didn't. The coach didn't say it, but Carlo explained it in depth.
Let's talk about it.
Let's play it. The clip 2 from Carlo, please.
Yeah, it was just a weird situation, with the infection in the ankle, and then just didn't progress the way that we wanted it to ultimately. But I think we did a great job. I, commend the medical staff, everybody. We were trying to take the right steps to go forward, and it just didn't work out just based off of luck, I guess you could say. So overall, it's in the past now, and we're looking forward.
Wow, he's missed a lot.
He has, yeah. It's been a long run
Let's play the first clip too on how he's feeling.
I think more so just comfortability within my boot. I think that's kind of the steps that I've been checking off right now. Just getting back to, not focusing on each stride, whether it be painful or not. So right now it's feeling good. I haven't been thinking about as much when I'm skating. So, a lot to be happy about there.
I don't know about you, Kip, but like when my foot hurt, your ankle, your whatever, it's hard to play hockey. Like it's distracting.
Feet are the worst.
It's brutal.
Oh, it's a back. Back is bad for anybody, even everyday living for sure, because it's just, it controls everything, but it ain't pretty when your feet aren't happy.
No.
So listening to that, I would say is encouraging to me that having an infected ankle because of metal shards in there, maybe that's why he stunk.
Well, that's a good point.
That is a real reason for somebody not being at your best.
Yeah. Yeah, come on.
Because they traded, I don't know if you watched the late game on Saturday night or not, boys, but Fraser
Minty?
Minton's looking pretty good. They traded a
Using him in
first-round
the
pick
bumper on the power play.
in Fraser Minton,
That's
and
not
that
it.
first-round pick may be the 7th overall pick in the draft.
Let's not end the Leaf Hour edition on such a sad note.
No,
What's the positive you'd like to talk about?
How about the
Matthews
top
again?
line's good.
Oh, sure.
Matthews, Domi
Top line's
McMahon. You
great.
got Nick Robertson's really good.
Carlo
McCabe is the best player in the
Carlo
league.
And he's hurt.
needs to come back and be the guy that they traded for. Tanev's done, right? We know that. He's not coming back. He's not. It's going to be really hard for this blue line to muster a playoff kind of feel. It is. Let's say it.
Yeah.
Carlo has to come in and shore up a little bit of what Tanev provided.
I think we're at the point here, Kip, and we're working the game tomorrow night against Florida Panthers. Regional game.
Every game now.
I know, and honestly, this is
I quit TV
the
too.
best match we've ever had the chance to do. Yeah, so much for that.
It's a big one.
It is a big one. It is like the next 5-6 games is their season. It's their season.
I don't know.
Kip, if they're 2-4 over the next 6 games or something, they're done. They have a packed schedule.
Yeah.
They play elite teams. It leads into the break, which leads into the trade deadline.
okay, we're 41 games essentially. We're halfway through.
We are.
And my worry
You think
is
they're cooked
no.
regardless?
My worry is that it's still going to kind of look like this and feel like this in game 50 or game 55, and
They're
and
gonna
then
buy.
everybody will be like, "Go for it" or "Sell," and you're going to be like, "Well, we're only like 4 points out."
Yeah.
That's the danger.
Kip, that's happening.
To your
That's going
point-
to happen.
To your point, it's like there's a lot of fool's gold out there.
But if they're 5-1, I don't know. I just picked 6 games arbitrarily. But if they have a good run here coming up, you know, they can be inside the playoff line. They can be waiting on the return of Carlo. They can, you know, get McKee back. Matthews looks like the real deal.
Is Florida beating Colorado a good thing or a bad thing? Because
I
sometimes
think-
you're wondering
Yeah.
if they got smoked by Colorado yesterday, you'd be like, I'd feel better that they're not that good.
No, you'd feel like, oh, they're going to be hungry.
See what I mean? You can't. You're.
I don't know.
Sam Bennett, best player in the ice in that game, by the way. Not, but not.
Damn, send it.
We don't need to scream about that again,
But
unless you want to.
I don't.
there's Florida, there's Buffalo, there's Ottawa. Like you're.
Oh, I mean, that list you just gave me wasn't exactly a murderer's row of fear. Florida, yes.
But here's the
Florida's
saving
Florida.
grace for all of them is that, like, Detroit's a top team.
-7 goal differential.
But Florida's taking a spot. It's just going to come down to whose spot they take.
Detroit lost Saturday at home.
4-1 to Penguins.
Yes.
Yeah.
12 shots on goal.
It's insane.
12.
Yeah, I snoozed through that game. Had it on.
Like, how can that be? How can you be challenging for a division title and be at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins and only muster 12 shots on goal? That's what excites.
Penguins
That's
5
what excites.
straight wins.
It's what excites everybody.
Sid, by the way, is like the best player.
Sid's OT winner last night was
So,
unbelievable.
What's your point? That the Leafs are still in this, or that they're going to have fool's gold?
That's a great question,
That they're all dumb. They're all dumb.
I said this on
That's my point.
Twitter.
They all think that they're going to win.
I said this on Twitter that the first GM to say,
We suck.
even if we get in and, you know, get beat in the first round, like, what's the point? The first GM to sell, to be the one willing to move. You got 20 buyers right now, 20 teams who think they're playoff bound. Maybe this is our year. Massive list of teams. You say, hey, this guy's available. First come with this asking price, you can have him, is going to reap great
It
rewards.
sounds good, but it's not practical. It's not reasonable that there's 20 teams, JB,
If
because
there's
No,
20 teams.
there's 20 teams to my point where they don't know what to do. They don't know what to think.
I know.
And they won't pull the trigger. They're too scared.
That's what I'm saying. The first one to not be
So-
scared.
They're doing nothing. And they're going to do
Have-
nothing for another 10 games.
Do you want to hear something? Because there's 3 utterly dominant teams in the Central Division, 10 teams in the NHL have a positive goal differential. 10.
Yeah.
That means 22 teams are 0 or worse, and the Pacific Division has 0 teams with a positive goal differential.
So tell me right now, okay, so I say there's zeros, and to your point, you're saying just the first guy, the first team.
Be the team.
Give me a team right now.
Toronto.
As a seller,
Not a chance.
Toronto. Toronto's a good one.
Not a snowball's
Pittsburgh.
chance.
Philly.
Toronto is bailing
Buffalo.
on
Boston.
Auston Matthews.
Well,
Not a chance.
They're not bailing. They're resetting.
Yeah. Say, hey, listen, we have a chance to load
Look
up.
what the
We
Bruins
got-
did to Pasta last year. And now they're ahead of the Leafs again.
That's not happening
and
here.
they have their first round pick.
Not
Because
happening.
they're cowards.
Do it.
Not
What are the
happening.
Oilers going to give you for Bobby McMahon?
Not happening.
What's
OEL.
Colorado going to give you for OEL?
What's Scott Lawton
Too
fetch?
bad we've run out of Leaf Hour Edition time because this is
Go for it.
this would probably be a really good conversation maybe as early as tomorrow. All right. Our thanks to nobody. Ethan Jaja
yeah,
Gabor,
yeah, thanks, Joshua.
right?
Ethan, we won't call you that. That's not a good nickname. We'll do
Oh,
better.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Arian Gaborik?
Jaja's a legend. I'm turning Ethan into a
Gaborik.
legend on this show. Okay?
That's not how it's getting done. No one
Okay.
knows who Jaja is.
You got to go.
Think
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Think Disco's happy? All right, let's take it up a notch here on the National Hour of the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We're live on SportsNet, SportsNet 650 in Vancouver, SportsNet 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on SportsNet Plus. And if you miss our show, just download it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Well, you can't see it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you can probably see it on YouTube, where Sammy forgets to change the jersey from the Leaf Hour edition to the National edition of our program. I'm sorry.
Do you know?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. We were talking,
All right.
and
I'm not doing it.
you know,
I'm not doing it.
It's Leafs
Leafs,
National Hour today.
Leaf National Hour for Sammy.
Yeah, we could. I'm thrown off by it. I don't know how I forget everything.
That's okay. That's all right. You got your
Like,
Blue Jay hat.
It's a total mental block that I cannot get past. And I set an alarm and it went off one day, and Kyper made fun of me for that.
The alarm?
I'm in the torture chamber with this damn jersey.
I'm in hell.
I don't
if
know.
you're
what-
blowing through alarms at your age,
circle of
what are you
hell.
going to do when
No,
you're my age?
I set my alarm, and then you got mad at me. You're like, "Whoa, your noise!" Meanwhile, it's Windchime McGee over here every day, and I can't. I'm just,
Kyper is going to kill me.
And
for
the end of the Canadian World Juniors. And
Oh, yeah.
God, I
All
just
frazzled,
tough
eh?
night.
In a couple of minutes, we'll welcome in Gary Galley, former National Hockey League defenseman, color analyst for Sportsnet and Hockey Night in Canada. As a reminder, also, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Okay, we're going to get into that World Junior stuff, but we got gals waiting for us right now.
Okay.
All right,
Let's do it.
we good? Let's not keep him waiting
No.
because he's a real busy guy.
Making picture collages, I think. Look
Gals,
at that.
how
What a
are you, my
show.
friend? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you guys. The desanitification process has started here in the Galley home, so it has been a long, arduous day. So that's why I'm here waiting for you guys, because I'm
Awesome.
like, I'd rather be doing this than doing the other thing.
The
So
chores.
yeah, we have 8 trees in our house, so it's a big undertaking.
Okay, gals, you played, I think, close to 1,200 NHL games as a defenseman. No one knows the challenges of this position more than you. Okay, what are we watching with Matthew Schaefer here? Because I've watched him a little bit, but not to the extent that I watched Saturday night, and I'm seeing something that I've rarely seen my whole career. The things that he's able to do at such a young age. But what did you see Saturday night?
I think that he's somebody you have to see live to really appreciate him. I think you can watch him on television and you're going to see him play and he's going to get a lot of ice time. You're going to see a lot of things. But when you see him live, you get to watch what he does away from the puck, not necessarily in the camera shot, but where his reads are. He is a confident kid. I mean, comfortable in his skin, who he is, with the big steps that he's taking. There's nothing that's too big for him. He just goes out there and he embraces the moment. It's the way his life is. He lost his mom and it's been a real difficult time for him. And he's learned how to move forward and go, that's maybe one of the toughest things he'll ever go through. This is nothing. I have the talent and the ability to do this, and I'm going to go and I'm going to do it. And it's just really special to watch him. The whole story is really engaging for me. Everything about him has really blown me off from the moment when he was drafted by the Islanders and how he spoke the day of the draft. And when you hear Patrick Roy talk about him, I mean, he oozes about the kid. Patrick doesn't throw out, roses here. I mean, he oozes about this kid because this kid is the real deal. His numbers aren't lying. He's doing something really special with his ice time and his ability to play. Could he have gone to the Olympics and played for Canada? Yeah, he could have. There's no doubt about it. But Team Canada, they take care of the people that have took care of them. And those guys that are going back have done a real good job. And they had a lineup that they felt comfortable with and maybe felt like, maybe this is maybe a little bit too much to throw at the kid all at once. But anyway, I think if there's any injuries that happen going down the stretch to that 8, I think you will see him as the first add-on.
One thing I'll just add, for Canadian hockey fans, is I don't know if people appreciate Adam Pelech, who Schaefer's been able to play with. Pelech is a really good defenseman. Last year maybe wasn't his year, but I don't think he's that many D-man removed from potentially being a Canadian candidate here when you're looking at more stay-at-home type D-man.
I liked the Islanders defense corps for a number of years here coming up, they made some changes now, but I mean, they really had, Pelech and Pulock, those guys were solid guys. And when you have a guy like Schaefer, you want to put him with a guy that he doesn't have to worry about reading off of. He's going to know what he's going to do all the time. He's going to be a guy that you just know how he's going to play, and he's a good communicator, and he's going to let the kid do his thing. I remember in Philadelphia when they came to me and they said, we're going to put Dmitry Yushkevich with you, and we want him to room with you. Yeah. We want him to, to be your partner. We want you to help him, move over here to North America and play in the National Hockey League. We really like this kid. We think he's going to be a real good player. And as I started playing with him, and I realized that I wasn't so much helping him. I mean, I was helping him in some of the things off the ice and things like that. I'd make him order the room service. I'd make him do things so he'd have to speak English and get used to that. But he really trusted me. I trusted him. And people would say, well, you're really helping out Dimitri. I said, well, Dimitri's helping me because I'm not really worrying about him at all. He's playing so well, and he is such a good partner that I'm actually not really thinking about it one bit. I'm just being a good teammate and being a good defense partner. And partners do make a difference. When you get a relationship with a guy that you play with for a long time, you can go back to Bukaboom and Leach. You can go back to so many different pairings of guys together that once you find that pairing, Taze and Makar, you can really, really feel a comfort on the ice. And the reads are so much easier because it's like you're living in the same skin as the other guy you're playing with. And it's really, that's the way I felt with Dimitri, and I really enjoyed playing with him.
You're watching and listening to Gary Galley, former National Hockey League. He does a terrific job covering the NHL on Sportsnet and Hockey Night in Canada. As good as Matthew Schaefer felt, gals, Saturday night, just the opposite for a guy like Morgan Rielly, who ended up -4, and if I'm not mistaken, -15 now for the season here. What does it feel like for a guy of his stature to feel like everything he does out there ends up in his own net? How does somebody dig himself out of that? And you ever experience anything like that?
I think every player who plays a good amount of time in the National Hockey League, a veteran guy in the league, will have gone through some stints of what the hell's going on here. Everything's going wrong. Even when I think I'm doing something right, it's turning out wrong. The harder I try, the worse it gets. And sometimes, and as you guys know, you take this game home with you. You don't leave it at the rink. When you are a person that is relied upon, when you're a person that you feel the expectations are at a certain level and you're having trouble meeting those, it's really frustrating. And you think he's the only guy this year, the only veteran guy that's having a struggle? I could introduce you to a few Winnipeg Jets, and they'll tell you what a real struggle looks like. And it's like, what do you do? What can you say to him? You got to figure it out on your own. Your teammates will always be positive. Your coaching staff is probably going to be honest, but they're also going to be positive, trying to get you turned around. It's up to you to get back into believing the things that you can do, because right now you can get in the habit of always being a second too late because you're thinking too much. And you're always just not jumping, using that, those years of experience to just jump on things and get ahead of things. Because you do have to do that in this game. The game moves fast and you have to make reads, and you've got to take some chances in this game, but they're calculated chances. For him, I think there's a lot, the hamster in the wheelhouse is running. And I mean, that happens. It's hard to make decisions and you never feel comfortable with them.
Well, it's a thankless position by and large. I'm looking at Luke Hughes for the New Jersey Devils, who, shoots 2 in his net essentially last game. And for all the good he's done, young kid, bright prospect, a lot of points, big contract, has one game where a couple things go wrong. His home crowd is booing him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are you
The
supposed
crowds are vicious.
There's so much pressure playing D.
You watched the game last night. I don't know if you guys watched the game last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers game. I mean, they're booing him in between downs. I mean, is there more of an exciting game than that? And And the broadcasting, which is outstanding, they're kind of rationalizing with it. Well, this is a really smart, football crowd, and they know it's good and they know it's bad, and it's like okay, well, but come on, like really, the crowds can get on players and guys and teams pretty quickly now. Seems to be you don't have as much room to play with. What could you do for me today? And that's kind of the way it is in a lot of things in this world today. But hey, the fans have the right to let you know how they feel. And that's why more than ever, I will tell you that, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying I have any scientific proof or anything. I think we were a bit mentally stronger back in the day because, we had a lot of stuff thrown at us. You could be cursed out. You could have a pop thrown on you. You could be torn to shreds and, just have to get right back out to the next shift and go. And it's just really hard that the kids today maybe have a little harder time handling negativity, handling criticism, because every player back in the day, and you guys played too, they all were best on their teams growing up, top players, went to junior, were the top scorers. But when you get to the NHL, you got to find your way. You're not always going to be in the perfect spot. Some of these kids are getting great opportunities handed to them, and right away you're getting jump into this league and you're going to play 20 minutes a game, and along with that, sometimes the league catches up to you a little bit and it starts to beat on you a little bit, and that's why you really got to watch young guys in their first 2 or 3 years, because sometimes it gets taxing, and it gets to be like the game doesn't stop every second night. And a year like this with the Olympics, we're halfway through the schedule already. Man, you're a sophomore player this year and a bit of a sophomore slump. I'm sorry, we're on game 42 and we're 8 points out of the playoffs. We got to leapfrog 6-7 teams. How do you like me now? Like it's not fun.
Gals, it was all that training we had, being kids and trying to get home without any bus money or change to make a phone call. I mean, those are challenging times.
I used to say, I went home one time and I told my dad, we were throwing crab apples at a dog, and the guy came out and cuffed me on the side of the head. And I went home and told my dad, and I thought he was going to go take care of it. And he cuffed me in the head too. And it's like, what? I can't win. And it's like now, if you go home and you say something, your teacher yells, parents go in and they reprimand the teacher. Totally. It's like, we're hardened a little bit more. And it's not to say it's right or wrong or whatever.
It's wrong.
We're a bit hardened. We're a bit hardened. Like I said, I can remember sitting at the end of my stall and Pat Quinn coming in the locker room. He was so mad. He took the stick back in the day. And, of course, the guys are so much healthier than us. We used to have pop in the middle of the room on the table and Gatorade and whatever. And the stick was like just a machine gun. It went through the whole pile of pop. And I went onto the ice. We were in St. Louis. And I had different colors on me, orange, grape, Coke, whatever. And one of the St. Louis players came up to line up against me, and he's like, what the heck happened to you? I said, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's not good. But you got to go out there and go. It's like, got to play, drop the puck.
Gals, do you think today coaches sit there and sometimes they don't even know if a camera is on them taping a post-game comment or, guys are in a position now where they can call a hotline, not give their name, and give it. Like, do you think that's in the back of their minds now, constantly?
I just think coaches have to assume there's a camera on them all the time, and a player has to assume there's a camera on them all the time, even when they're out having dinner, or even when they're going to have a quick beer in a city, which is nothing. You're 28 years old. You can go have a beer. You can go sit down with a couple of your teammates and have a few beers. It's not the end of the world, but there's cameras on you all the time now. And that's the one thing that we did not have in our time, which made enjoying the game a little bit more. Now the game's a little tighter, and I don't want to get into how much we enjoyed the game, but it was fun. We stayed in cities after the game. We didn't jump on a private plane and fly to the next city, get in at 2 a.m, get to the room, have to get, nourishment and sleep and whatever and get going. We stayed in the city and get to enjoy the city, so to say, or the nightlife a little bit. And then, you learned how to play guilty a little bit, right? You had to. Yeah. You had to play. If you couldn't play guilty the odd time, if you were out a bit late with your teammates one night, your teammates wouldn't respect you. I mean, it was crazy how many times you knew a guy was out past curfew or was out at a bar one night, and he was your best player.
Yeah.
It's just nowadays these guys can't do it. The cameras and phones are everywhere, and so these guys are a lot more. I think they're more rested than we were.
Sure. What's funny is I ran into Ken Reed at a rink this weekend. He was with his boy who's, 11, 12 years old, and the boy was up at a sleepover till 2 or 3 in the morning. Kenny's going, Bourne, tell him about playing guilty and how you still got to show up the next morning, and trying to drill home the old school hockey mentality to him. So, okay, let me take that and ask you a question about Hockey Canada today and the type of kids who are going to be our next great Canadian hockey players. Everyone is the best player. Everyone is sheltered and coddled a little bit. And I and a lot of people worry that we're not going to produce guys. Kip, I don't know if your parents were millionaires when you were growing up, but you have to have so much money for these kids to put them in all the programs and everything. How are we going to generate the next Sam Bennett's and Tom Wilsons and the next generation of guys that are got oomph, to use Kipper's word from the first hour?
First of all, if my parents were millionaires, they didn't tell me. All right? I'm the last to know about it.
Okay, all right. So you used to be able to, we would draw from a much bigger pool of Canadians. To me, it feels like we're drawing from a tiny pool now.
If my parents were millionaires, I'm really pissed off right now.
Me and you would be on the 8th hole somewhere.
You know what? You look at the game now. The game now isn't. These guys are super talented. I mean, they're built differently. They're built for speed and movement. We were built to be thick, strong, battle mode. The game isn't as physical as the game used to be. There isn't as many characters, and I mean that in a real positive way. How many characters that are in the game that you really love to watch on a nightly basis? The game is more the same in most cities. When you go and do a game, the games are relatively look alike. Yeah. But it's who can go out and execute the best. It's north-south hockey. It's speed. It's launching the puck. And deflecting it, forechecking, and funneling pucks to the net. And getting to the net and getting in the goalie's face. Everyone blocks shots now. That's the one thing they do more now than we did back in the day. They block a lot more shots, and it makes it harder to get pucks through. But the game is changing, and it's going to continue to change. I don't see it going back anytime soon to the way it was, because it's just a different game. So I really do believe in. When I watch these guys, I just look and see how talented they are. I mean, guys that are playing on fourth lines would be first and second line players as far as their skill sets and their skating ability. I mean, it's amazing how talented all these people are. And now the World Juniors, you look at it and you're right. All these kids are the best in their programs.
Yep.
So the funnel is moving. That's what happens. All these kids are coming from all different places, and the funnel's getting tighter and tighter. And as it gets to the end, what are you looking at before you pick kids? You're looking at character. You're looking at how a player, the intangibles that a player has. And that's what teams and scouts have to figure out, are the intangibles that a player has that maybe you don't see it like on a Bennett or something like that. But, look at Schaefer. And this kid's got some intangibles. I mean, crazy intangible. So that's out there, and you got to dig a little deeper to find it. And it's not easy. You see a lot of teams pick guys, and a year or two later, it's not working out. But certainly, I like some of the young kids that are coming in, and it's been really nice having Makar come in and really, and play the way he has, and even when you awe Bobby Orr, that's pretty special. When Bobby Orr says, "Wow, this guy is," that's pretty special stuff. And I think Schaefer is one of those kids that's coming along, and he's making a few jaws drop, and that's pretty special.
Gal's halfway through the season, and the story of the league pretty much is the mushy middle. And it could get mushier tonight when the Ottawa Senators entertain Detroit here. As far as the Senators are concerned, I didn't think I'd see them, where they are right now. Ullmark is no longer with the team. Part of our earlier conversation, I don't know, in terms of in our era, did we ever see so many guys kind of just disappear and then come back and leave and come back? But Ullmark is gone from the team right now, and where Ottawa really stands here moving up, What do you see out of Ottawa here? Can they close the gap and start getting up there amongst the likes of Tampa Bay and Montreal right now?
Well, three of the divisions of the four, I'll toss out the Central. The last place team is 10 points or less from first place. So there is some jamming in there and some, stacking and packing. But again, as we all know, you have to get by the teams in front of you. And if you're down the list, you have to leapfrog all these teams that are playing on a regular basis. So it's a lot harder to do when you're at the bottom, even if it is only 7 or 8 or 9 points. A game like tonight for Ottawa, I mean, man, you beat Detroit tonight. You got 3 games at hand on them, and you're 5 points behind them. So now you start to look at it and go, okay, this is good. We're starting to climb. We're getting close to that team that's in that spot we want to have. For a team like Winnipeg, it ain't happening. So at least Ottawa is within striking distance, and that's a good thing. Losing Ullmark, I mean, that's going to be really hard. I mean, that's going to be really tough on this team. I don't think the other goaltenders are of the caliber of Ullmark, and especially if Ullmark is on his game. So it's a real shame to have him gone at this juncture, especially when they really need him the most. But your mental health is, as we all know, is something that the league and the players take very serious. I think this is a player who's had some mental health issues before in his time in the league. So, if there's something going on there, and of course nobody knows what's going on, but whatever is going on, certainly, you have to give him his time and space to get himself back again and be able to come in and play the game. It's, I think we're more in tune with players who are having mental health issues, and, but it's hard because he's always a guy, when you see him interviewed, he seems to be really happy-go-lucky and very positive. Even when things aren't going good, he always tries to silver lining it. I feel like things are coming. I feel like my game's going to come around. It will get better. I always seems to be that kind of guy. But sometimes those players, and I'm not saying this is Ullmark, but sometimes that's how those players hide things too, right? They hide it, trying to be that way, but maybe it's bothering them more. I don't know. That's a weird one. I really don't. I really don't think it's having 4 goals on 14 shots is the issue. I don't think he had 4 goals on 14 shots, and all of a sudden, this is why he's taken a personal leave. It's got to be more to that. There's got to be more that's been going on. So hopefully he gets healthy soon, and he certainly has the support of his teammates and the organization in Ottawa here, and hopefully he gets back as soon as possible.
Gals, heading into last night, Colorado looked like, different than the rest of the league. I've even seen some models that had them, like a 50% chance to win the cup. Like, some crazy, I think, or to get to the finals. They just seem far and away better than everyone. Then they play Florida. Who got hurt? Gabe Landeskog gets hurt. And Florida wins. And Florida, you can kind of like squint and see this version of the Panthers in playoffs and what they're going to be like. And you see Bennett take one to the net and jam in the rebound. It's like, God, that's going to be Florida, isn't it? Do you feel like Colorado is still the runaway favorite? Do you think Florida's kind of right there with them?
I don't think anyone gets to run away with it. I think that's going to be a battle to the end. I think that sometimes you get out and you get on a run like Colorado is on this year, and you win a whole bunch of games, and then look what happened to Tampa that year. I mean, they looked like no one was going to touch them, and then Columbus dialed them in. It was like, what just happened? What just happened? So anything can happen in this game, but you have to be impressed with. I'm really impressed with the way Colorado's playing. I'm impressed with the way Dallas is playing, but Dallas tends to shoot themselves in the foot in the playoffs. Minnesota, I think, has really showed me that they're a team that's going to be tough to play against. But that Central Division, we're going to lose a team right off the hop. That really good team right in the first round. If Minnesota plays Dallas, bingo, that's the playoffs. And I love the Atlantic Division right now because Tampa's up top, but you got teams in there now, that Montreal and Detroit, that are up and coming young teams that are getting a taste of having people chase them instead of them chasing. Right. So now, instead of you having to come into the locker room and you're catching up, you're playing ahead of yourself because you don't want teams to catch you. It's a different mindset and a different way to build confidence in your team. So I'm really, really looking forward to watching the back 40 with Montreal and Detroit and seeing if they can hold those spots as young teams and teams that are up and coming, because I think that'd be a really good story if they could.
Gals, great stuff as always, man. Really appreciate always your contributions on the show.
Get back to cleaning up your house.
Hey, man, oh man! I was like, I ran down the stairs for this interview. I was like,
We can
I gotta
talk
get down
longer
and
if
do
you
this.
want.
Yeah. Get back
I
to
could have
work.
started this morning at 8:00. It would have really helped me.
Awesome stuff, pal. Thanks again.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank you.
Gary
Appreciate it.
Galley, Sportsnet Hockey Night in Canada. Yeah, that's Florida to me is just that, and no Seth Jones yesterday, no Barkov. Matthew Tkachuk's on the trip.
Yeah.
Won't play against the Leafs tomorrow night, but he's coming.
Like if Colorado finishes with 138 points and it's the Cup final and they got Barkov and Tkachuk and Jones and all those guys in the lineup, Colorado might be underdogs.
It would be, I think, plus 200 for the Panthers.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, depends who's hurt, depends the time,
Yeah.
but they're just such a runaway train. But that game looked like a Cup final game. Like it looked like two of the best teams in the league playing against each other, and Sam Bennett looked really good in that game.
By the way, like the Florida jerseys.
They do look better on,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah.
Although
Didn't
that,
love them in pictures. I
although
like
that
them.
Winter Classic, I gotta tell you, I tried, turned it on. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll leave it. I'll come back and see what the score is later.
One of those things I checked in to see the look.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think Florida, Miami can kind of fall under the same umbrella as Vegas, where you know they're going to go cheesy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And it's just
Remember the All-Star game
okay.
there? When it was
it's
just,
okay,
Totally.
right?
Totally
Are
okay.
they shooting pucks at surfboards
Yeah.
in the All-Star game down there? Remember that?
Yeah, sure do.
And,
Yeah.
the outdoor game where they got lounge chairs and umbrellas,
Yeah.
like people are at the beach.
Can I ask
It's fine. It just works for them.
Fine.
as a guy who has won Lord Stanley's mug, what'd you think about Barkov and Tkachuk on stage? Was it Barkov and Tkachuk or somebody in Tkachuk on stage dancing with the cup mid-season?
It's theirs.
They're allowed to do
It's
that?
theirs until someone takes it away from them.
Eligible to do that.
Eligible to do that.
Okay.
Theirs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's theirs.
Just never seen that
Yeah.
really. You never seen really halfway through
I'm
the
not
season
sure-
it getting flaunted.
I'm
like
not
that.
sure how many guys would have been comfortable to do that, but
Matthew Tkachuk's one of them.
yeah,
They've
listen,
won two in a row.
I think you should do it all year
Right.
long. I think that should be. You should bring it on the bench with you when you play opposing teams.
That's
and be
an
like,
excellent
just
idea.
a reminder
That is a
No,
great
it's-
idea.
who we
it's-
are.
Like the
it's-
bell.
Sammy, it's theirs.
Okay.
It is theirs.
Because I just saw some blowback to that, and I hadn't really thought of it,
Yeah,
and I just
no.
thought I'd get your take.
No,
Okay.
take it away from me, and then
Hey,
it's no longer in my possession.
yeah,
Did you guys want to talk more about the juniors, or
yeah, I'm fine with this. What, do you want? Then you get into the whole
No,
Hockey Canada.
we got a few minutes here
Yeah.
because I watched like any casual fan would. I didn't pay attention too much to it, but
By the way, it's 3-2 Canada right now over Finland.
oh, good.
After the
Okay,
first-
so
Oh, I was
they
supposed to-
showed up a little bit.
I was supposed to put that on? Sorry, Ken.
When you change the jersey, you can
I don't know
The
if
jersey's
it,
changed. What are you talking about?
I don't know if it's inclined to, Brendan Shanahan now being like covering it with Hockey Canada, but that's more has to do with, I think, a review of what they're trying to figure out for junior hockey in Ontario, but maybe it is tied a little bit to where are we going with all of this and how are we going to keep up? Are there other programs that are obviously we've dominated, right?
Yeah.
For such a long time, but are others just catching up? And what can we do to stay ahead?
Yeah, I think they're good questions. I truly believe this. So there's fundamentally a lot of problems, I'm sure, with how people would like this whole thing to get sorted out for Canada. Look, we still are doing pretty good, right? Like we are still, you can only create so many great players out of a great nation. We just had Macklin Celebrini and Matthew Schaefer step in the league. We're not a bunch of bums.
Both of those young men eligible to play in this tournament.
Exactly. We're doing pretty good. Next
And
step
Bennett
of that.
Sedecki, who's dominating for
Yeah,
the
but
Ducks.
there's a
For sure, everyone else is
There's an
getting better. And the
expectation.
gap is narrowing.
it's narrowing. Yesterday, for the first time listening to the kids,
Yeah.
it was like, that's the first time I really remember people looking the camera in the eye. And I know they're very emotional. They were crying.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but it was like, yeah, they're better than us. They were better than us. That's what I got out of it.
Czechia?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We got beat by a good team.
I just can't help but watch Czechia play versus Canada in that game and just be like, that's what we used to do.
Yes.
That's
That's right.
We used to be bigger, faster,
Hungrier.
strong, hungry. Like there was an identity that we played with that no longer exists.
And that is exactly the problem. And I think it's tied to that basically it's the kids of 1%ers or, 5%ers or whatever who can afford to play. I think the sport is too expensive. I think it's too professionalized, too young.
Yeah.
I have hated it.
Yeah.
Watching, these kids. Oh yeah, my kid's 7. He's on a skating treadmill in the summers. What are we doing? It costs $3,000 for 10 sessions.
And I'm not a big fan of the crying too.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
They've cried forever.
You don't want them to care about losing the thing
it's-
that
it's-
mattered most to them in their lives?
It's not the caring part.
They've all cried
that's
forever.
not new.
I know, but you just gotta handle it a little better. That's all.
I disagree.
No, I don't want to sit there and listen to an interview while you're crying. I'm sorry, I don't.
Well,
I didn't
right?
see the interviews.
I disagree with that.
Maybe you
Yeah,
can
listen.
sort the tears by the time you get there.
I think to your point a little bit, a lot of these guys are used to having their own way, and they're not used to this.
Well, I
mean,
think
there's some
that
to
is
that.
tied to what I'm
They're not
saying.
used to it. They're not used to failing. They're not used to losing. They're not used to anything.
This is going to be harsh, but it's a lot of silver spoon hockey.
Totally.
That's what I see.
That's tied into the crying part.
Yeah, but I think they cried when they didn't have silver.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're emotionally
But
charged
you're-
teenagers
you're-
that have it's the
yeah.
biggest tournament of their life, and they lose in heartbreaking fashion to a rival, that team that's beat them 3 years in a row. I don't mind seeing some
You'd have
tears.
cried. If you went to represent Canada, didn't win.
I would have
you'd
done a
cry.
quiet cry.
Yeah.
A single tear runs it. I don't know. Like because I want to be really passionate about this, but I find myself just more sad about it than I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
Like, because in years past, I've been mad about it. I mean, I remember last year how mad you got at me for my Bud Light tweets about them losing to Latvia and how mad I was. I remember you got pissed off at me.
Bud Light
But
tweets.
yeah, I was just tweeting some
Be more
incendiary
specific, because
things.
that happens a lot.
No, it doesn't. You'd be
Which
surprised.
says-
But I wish I could. I feel like it's just kind of gone. And that's the heartbreaking part. Like, I still think that we're always going to be able to produce phenoms. And we have 3 guys. And McDavid and McKinnon are something that no other country can create. Those are quintessentially Canadian guys that I just think we'll always have that. But what used to make us great is those guys plus the violence guys. The guys that were run you through a boards I just remember World Juniors of my youth having it be, the Tutus of the world and the Tom Wilsons and the
Eric Lindros.
Well, no, just there's all
Just
these
running
guys.
through people.
And it's just that doesn't seem to exist anymore. I don't know what they prioritize because, listen, I support the level of hockey. I go to these games. I watch junior hockey. It still exists.
Mm-hmm.
There's players that still are aggressive and there's still scrums and they still hit people. So it's out there. So maybe it's what Hockey Canada prioritizes for this team. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
But 3 years at this tournament, no medal. I guess maybe they could win the bronze today. No gold medal is borderline unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's
not a small sample eventually.
No, it's referendum time for me in terms of what's going on here because it's best on best time. We need to be good now.
I am very interested in Brendan Shanahan's involvement in this review, I guess, and then ultimately a recommendation for junior hockey in Ontario.
Yeah,
some people have
interesting.
maybe rolled their eyes at it, but
Bit of a
I think-
thankless job.
I think it's.
Totally.
I want to know exactly where we've gone and headed in junior hockey, and it's hard not to talk about this without mentioning
David Branch.
David Branch, who he lost. OHL commissioner, my OHL commissioner.
Really?
Oh yeah,
How
we're
many
talking.
suspensions did he give you?
Yeah, maybe one or two, maybe.
Did you
I
get
can't remember.
suspended in the?
You know what I remember most about David Branch is he presented me a Molson Cup, which is 3-star selections in junior hockey.
Okay.
And I remember him telling me the guys that win this play in the NHL. And I was like,
Called it.
whoa.
Really? He said that to
whoa,
you?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a story that
and
is.
it stuck with me. I'm like, Maybe
I bet if
maybe
you-
I'm closer than I think.
If you look at the list of people who've won that,
Yeah.
so that'd be the most first
Yeah.
stars or total
Yeah,
stars.
most first
whatever.
stars in a
I
game.
bet you every player there
Yeah.
played in the NHL. That's
Yeah.
quite
I mean,
the honor.
But
He was the Ontario Hockey League commissioner for 45 years.
45
boys.
years.
Wow.
45 years.
Yeah. So our condolences to the Branch
Absolutely.
family.
Yeah.
A good man.
Good man.
Just my point, going back to junior hockey, are we still doing it the right way? Junior B, like, do we have too many teams? What's happening with the kids that are playing junior B, and what happens to them when they don't go to play junior hockey? Do they end up going back to school? Do they fall off on the wayside? Like
I
there's
played
a
junior B and junior A and got a college scholarship out of it.
yeah,
you
but
know, there's paths.
okay, but there's others that don't.
For sure.
right?
Yep.
And I think there's a lot of questions to be answered for sure, including major junior A hockey.
I can't think of something I would want to do less as a job than what Brendan Shanahan is apparently going to do: review the
Like-
junior hockey.
So, okay,
tran-
let me ask you this.
transparency. and-
Well, he's an important guy.
safety
First of
and-
all, let me just say he is an important guy. Hockey Canada lacks credibility right now.
he should run
Right?
Hockey Canada.
So
Yeah.
go to a guy that's lived it, breathed it, run through the system,
Absolutely.
right?
But
So-
like, if you were, I mean, then maybe we don't have time for this conversation, but let's do it anyway.
We're way past.
But I mean,
Not off
Ethan's slacking.
Yeah,
He's not
Ethan's-
telling us to break it. But where do you start?
Well,
Like, what's
that's kinda it.
your first day? You're like, hey, new job. First, it's like, what? It's just such a
No,
widespread.
they've done the reviews. They've done a lot of digging and research into it. I think
Okay.
Brendan's job isn't to start from day one. It's to
consult on what they've found.
take whatever information that you've
enough.
gotten and then see what you like, see what you don't like, and then you go back to the gatekeepers, the owners, the hunters in London, or somebody that owns a junior B team, and say, here are some maybe thoughts and recommendations.
I do have some ideas.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, to your credibility point, Shanny walks into a room and starts talking about hockey. There's not a lot of people that aren't going to listen to every single
Correct.
word that he says.
Correct.
Game time?
All right, do a game time.
It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. So NFL Week 18 over the weekend. Bourne's Jets not in the playoffs once
Are
again.
they not?
No, they didn't
Oh,
make it this
geez.
year. They just missed out. No interceptions all year long. 0 interceptions.
Oh, God. I stopped watching after week 6.
We got the second pick in the draft. I'm sure they won't screw that up. Here's what I wanted to bring up. The Super Bowl odds for all the teams that are involved in the tournament now. The favorites I'm looking up right now. This is somewhat surprising to me. Maybe it shouldn't be because they are the 1 seed in the NFC. But the Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl favorite sitting at this point right now, plus 375. Rams plus 425. Broncos, Eagles, Patriots. And if you want to get the Buffalo Bills, the year that it's got to be, it feels like it has to be Josh Allen's year. No Lamar, no Joe Burrow, no Mahomes in the playoffs. They are 10-1 to win the Super Bowl. Don't mind that at all. It starts this week. There's 2 college football playoff games this week. Football this weekend, all weekend long. I think it starts Thursday, ends Monday. Just don't get divorced this weekend, guys. Lots of sports on. Anyways, that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Kyper was watching Steelers-Ravens highlights before our show started.
I'm a little upset I didn't catch that
Well,
game.
it was across from Team Canada, but it was one of the more dramatic finishes. And
This reminds me of when I have no reason to stay up past my bedtime. I'm like, it's 11, whatever. We need to break, fellas.
We should
We're
go.
not even talking about anything.
oh,
I wanted to ask you about the field goal kicker, Tyler Loop.
loop. Yeah, he threw himself for a loop.
All right. Well, we
Wide
got
right.
so much to get into, including
Wide right.
the sucker punch in the NHL. It's making its comeback this weekend.
Sucker punch, he saw it coming.
Save it after the break. Sucker punches. We'll see if we can get a couple in here on commercial break here on our show. We return after these words. The Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. A reminder, this hour, Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. All right, on the weekend on Hockey Night in Canada, we saw a couple of good examples of sucker punches that have led both respective players doing the suckering, suspended 1 game.
Turn your mic on and ask.
How do you define sucker
Yeah.
punch? What makes it a
The
sucker?
sucker punch on the surface is someone that's not expecting
Right.
something,
You would go as far as to call them a sucker,
right?
and they got punched.
So
But
both situations were all four players were involved in a skirmish or of some capacity of physical altercation, albeit.
Yep.
And we heard from Kevin Bieksa saying, I think he mentioned I'd never do that, and then probably you remember maybe one or two things over his career where it's like, it was pretty close maybe, but
yeah.
Your thoughts, first of all, for Stanley and Tkachuk. Let's start there.
Well, I mean, it's a bad play by Stanley. My God, like you can't. It was clear to me that Tkachuk wasn't in a fight with him, so you don't just get to bare knuckle a guy on the jaw.
Yeah.
However, I mean, he
Yeah.
does see Stanley gloves off, grabbing him.
Yeah, you try to shove him in your bench, right?
What do you mean?
Well,
no,
Brady
yeah.
Brady was in
Oh,
a
yeah.
physical altercation,
Sure, yeah,
and you
yeah.
actually attempted to push him in your bench.
Right. So there's not like this, like, I can't believe he did that
Yeah.
to me. It's like you're kind of
Yeah.
in a thing, but
Yeah.
you get suspended. You can't punch a guy who's not fighting
I
you.
get a game suspension.
Totally.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Right? The part that
I think Marchand absolutely burying Mike, or was it Mike Matheson? No, Mike Matheson isn't his name. Mike Matheson is somebody else. Matheson on, is it Mike Matheson?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
It
Oh,
is.
it was Matheson.
Yeah. With a little bit
With
of
a
a
flying elbow to the brain.
Yeah.
I think that's way more dangerous than the sucker punch.
No. The sucker punch is extremely
No, I mean,
dangerous.
at least-
it depends on
Kachuk didn't
where
know.
you land it. You can break a jaw so easily, Sammy,
Oh,
on
you
a
can't-
sucker punch.
You can't do that to an
No,
unsuspecting guy with
I'm
his
not
head
saying,
exposed.
I'm just saying that
I just think it's
it's
inconsistency
it's
from
not
the player department.
don't shrug off a sucker punch.
Well, I don't.
I
Can
think
just get a bit of a
in
hot
your
take?
interest in ringing up Marchand, I think you're dismissing a pretty dangerous, violent act here.
Okay.
Well, you can
No, I
follow
just-
through on your
listen,
point.
I don't. I think that Kachuk Brady has done that, where he gets to jump on guys and he fights guys, and Logan Stanley was already engaged with him, and him saying that he didn't think it was
So
coming or
this
whatever.
is the gray area,
I think
right?
that
This is the gray area.
he was close to being eligible to be punched. in my
So
opinion.
and I believe in that as well. So you can look at it and say, okay, hold on for a second. Okay, and again, we're not privileged to all the information here on what goes on, either what's been done or what's been said. But my belief is that, if you speared me in the nuts, all right?
Let's just
no,
say.
I'm telling you, which happens a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And we get engaged in some capacity, and you decide now to
You're out.
not look at me. Does that put a bubble over you? Does that make you untouchable? Because if you just did that to me and I feel like you got a cheap shot on me, well, then I'm sorry. All bets are off. It's coming. And if you choose to look away, to think that you're ineligible now for anything coming your way from me, you are sadly mistaken.
I would not turn my back on you. I will say this. It's the between whistle version of guys who get the puck in the corner, see someone come and hit them, and turn their back to the play. Say, oh, you see my numbers. You can't hit me now. Can't hit me because you see my numbers. And then some guys just hit you in the numbers. That happens sometimes, and you're on the hook a little bit for putting yourself in a bad spot.
My point is, I'm not upset with him getting a game suspension. That's fine. But in terms of what's dangerous and player safety, for him to get suspended and Marchand to not get a hearing.
No,
I
Marchand
think
should get suspended too.
I think it just underlines
Yeah.
the complete inconsistency with Department of Player Safety, and that they are really just spinning a wheel. I don't understand any of the decisions they make. That's what it's
So
about.
there
And they're supposed to protect the players, and I'm supposed to be a fan. I don't get it.
There has been other altercations that kind of have mirrored that, and the league has turned around and said, you're at fault for not paying attention. So it can be confusing to some.
Protect your stars a little bit. Do you think if it's Tkachuk on Stanley, is it different? If Brady's throwing that punch and
Listen,
Logan's
Potentially.
There's not a lot of people too sad to see a Kachuk get hit like that.
I tweeted of that video. I just tweeted
But-
that must have felt great.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean, like everyone hates Kachuk. He's probably been running his mouth the whole game. He just punched him out.
I think Brady's very lucky he didn't get seriously hurt there.
Oh, he is lucky. Absolutely. That could have.
And at the end of the day, so he gets suspended one day. He's not even in your conference. You're never going to see him again.
Doesn't
what
help
do
your
you
team
care?
any.
1 game, 5 games, 10 games. If you're eating out of a straw for the next 4 weeks, what do you care?
There is something with suspensions where it
take
should
your
be
eye off of
against
that
the
guy.
team when you play them next or something. You know, it's like doesn't help us if Stanley doesn't play against the next team they play.
And Stanley comes in with a reputation. Why don't ever take your eye off a guy like that ever?
Agree. We got lots to get to, so
Luke
let's try to fit
Hughes.
it in.
I want to do Luke Hughes because, I mean, you don't want to see a young guy like that in a position where like your hometown's just ripping on you here. I like the fact that everybody defended him as they should.
We have a great
sure.
Jake Allen clip. If you want
Let's
to
hear it.
Yeah, clip 1. From
He shot it in
Jake
his
Allen.
net twice. If you
I'm a
missed that.
goalie. I'm the one that always gets the bad end of the stick when I make mistakes. I've made so many mistakes to count. I've had fans boo me. I've had this and that, which, listen, I don't think he deserved. He's a kid that made 2 mistakes in a hockey game. Whoever doesn't make mistakes, I'd love to meet you, you know. But, it's a tough situation for him in a game like that. Probably something he's never felt before. Listen, he was not trying to do that. He's a great kid that's, playing a game that's made of mistakes. And, I just want to pat him on the back and get back to it on Tuesday here. I was really hoping he was going to get a goal for his own sake, just for confidence, win or loss, just to, get him back in the right spirits. But he's a mature kid, and he'll handle well.
It's pretty insane to boo the kid. Like, he's been a great player, young kid, bright star for the team.
He's been struggling this year.
Yeah, he's a great player. You still don't boo him because
I
he
agree.
did a whoopsie.
I think it's just this perfect storm that
They wish he was Quinn.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. My theory is that the team's not doing well, and you're not the Hughes we want on the blue line.
Do you really?
And I think they're frustrated. I think they honestly thought maybe they were going to get Quinn. They didn't get him, and they're taking it out on Luke.
I thought I saw something on Twitter today. Maybe Elliot mentioned, like, if I were Bill Guerin, I'd be, just checking in on what's going on there. Or
Imagine
if Luke Hughes is like, I want out in Minnesota.
I feel like all 3 of them are going to play for the Wild.
For the Wild,
But I got to say, I love Jake Allen. Everything I hear, whenever I hear him talk, he's great when he does the stuff with us.
Yep.
I mean, that's a veteran leader
Yep.
standing up for your player and saying that stuff.
Yep.
Like that's what you want in a teammate. It's awesome.
Okay, we got 2 other clips. One is Jason Robertson about the snubs, and the other is Chevy about the Jets.
Yeah, let's go Jets talk a little bit because
We have
Shovel
1 minute.
Day Off met the media today. I think
Did he have answers?
No,
Let's play the
but it was okay. Play it.
Play the clip.
Again, we're at the halfway point, and your record is your record, and all you can do is control what's in front of you. And again, adversity is part of this game. It's part of life. The art in it is how you handle it, and I think that's the thing. You can choose, any different direction. But when I woke up this morning, for me, the choice is put your head down and find a way to keep pushing this team to get better. And I think everybody has to adopt that mentality. So
That's
good.
the verbal version of the hang in there baby cat poster.
I just don't want to be accused of hiding.
Yeah.
Press conference.
That was absolutely nothing. That was the the Billy Madison answer.
And shout out to Jays signing a cool Japanese player. Doesn't strike out. Kazuma Okamoto doesn't strike out. Will fit right
Isaiah
in.
Kiner Falefa's old number 7.
Oh, I'll really miss him. Mixing a slide, Isaiah.
Oh, he was great for them.
Our thanks to Gary Galley, Hockey Night in Canada and Sportsnet. But we lost Bob Pulford as well, Hockey Hall of Famer. Our condolences to the Pulford family.
Agreed.
Wonderful career, player,
Great man.
coach, general manager, executive. Thanks for joining us, everybody.